So for many decades, scientists have known that as we get older, we lose our capacity to repair DNA, and this leads to cancer and overall aging and deterioration. In this new study, we've discovered what we think is a main mechanism that controls this process, and even, we think, some ways to reverse it. What we've discovered specifically is that when we're young, there's a protein that repairs our DNA efficiently, but as we get older, there's another protein that sticks to it, and that stops it from working. In one experiment, we fed old mice, the equivalent of about an 80-year-old human, a molecule called NMN, which then the mice turned into another molecule called NAD. Now, NAD is essential for life, and what we found out is that when you add it to the mouse's diet, it pops these two proteins apart, and this protein can now be as active as it was in a young mouse and restore our youthful levels of DNA repair. Effectively, this restored the DNA capacity of the old mice back to that of a young mouse, and also removed the DNA damage that was accumulating in their tissues. In another experiment, we exposed the mice to radiation, and our treatment greatly improved their DNA repair capacity and lessened the effects of the radiation exposure. We're particularly excited about doing a human trial over the next few months and seeing if these results translate to people.
For a long time, and so and some thyroid issues. So I'm just going to hand it over to you and kind of let you tell her story.
All right. Well, that's actually why we were in Sizzle, is because of Tara's type 1 diabetes. It really got me to digging in and figuring out what to do about, hold on, gotta get my baby sidetracked here just a sec. With her type 1 diabetes, I left the hospital thinking, man, there's got to be more than what the doctors are telling me. So I started digging in and finding as many things as I could to help her with her immune system. And so then when I found Sizzle, I knew exactly what it was as far as how great the products were. And then we went forward from there. Tara's actually been taking the products probably for, it's going to be 4 years this next June, I think. And I've always felt that because of the Sizzle products, she has been healthier, but it was confirmed by her endocrinologist. Every time we've gone for the last 3 years to the endocrinologist, because we'd ended up switching, she said, Tara's not normal. She's not normal for a type 1 diabetic because she doesn't get sick. She doesn't have scar tissue. She doesn't have eye problems. She doesn't have extreme blood sugars. So because of all of that, she would ask me lots of questions. So then after the AGE pill came out, and or even before, I'd been paying attention to what Tom Maurer said and how it worked. So I put Tara on it as well as my husband and I. But because Tara has the blood work done frequently, we could also see what it's doing inside of her body. She's going to be 20 this next month, and even though she's this young, it's been amazing to see the little changes in her body with the blood work. Now, Tara's TSH had been high, and her free T4 had been extremely low. And so then the endocrinologist says, okay, we're watching for, is it called Hashimoto's thyroiditis? So in 6 months, it's gone down from 5.92, her TSH has, down to 3.32. So it's gone from high down to a normal rate. Her free T4 has come up only from 0.79 to 0.92, but it is rising. So when the endocrinologist says, well, I don't think we need to do anything extra, we're definitely not going to put her on anything now as far as the thyroid, what do you call them? Extra medications. So that has been exciting.
I have a question. I have Hashimoto's.
But with what's
Yeah.
going on in you, one of the things that's come out of Harvard is they've actually said that that when you take a look at the nicotinamide riboside, the nicotinamide mononucleotide, which are some of the main ingredients in the age pill, what it does is it helps, number one, to balance the immune system, but those ingredients do. And then number two, once it's balanced the immune system, then they found that what it does is that these ingredients actually help the immune system to actually go back and, in a way, repair the tissue that the immune system was damaging. And so it's going to be interesting over the course of time to actually see what happens with your daughter's immune system, see what happens with your daughter's diabetes, to see if it continues to show signs of improvement, and also with her pancreas, to see will it actually do something there. And for the caller that was asking, as far as the Hashimoto's, that's exactly how it works. So the age pill helps with that, but then the Body Shield, it helps to remove the bad toxins that affect the thyroid. According to the United States EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, way back about 25 years ago, they came out with a study, and they said that 80% of thyroid disease was actually triggered by environmental toxins, and so that's the short answer. I can give you more information, but that's really what's happening. So again, we can't make any claims of medical cures with our products. I'm just repeating what the research has shown, and then with Elizabeth's testimonial, you can see that what I'm saying is actually making a difference. So, Elizabeth, thank you for sharing that. Andrea, thanks for taking over when my phone got knocked out there. So, what I'd like to do, I'm going to go out to Margaret Johnson. Here's another great testimonial that we have. Margaret, if you could tell a little bit about what you're seeing, what you're finding.
Sure. I started taking the age pill October 4th. And within a few weeks, I started noticing a big difference in my skin, in the appearance. And then I started noticing the pain in my back. I've had degenerative disc disease for years, and my back in 2016, a doctor in Walla Walla, Washington, created a whole procedure to fix my lower back, and figured I would always have pain, and I always had a lot of arthritis in my back. And over the course of time, it was kind of interesting over the last few months. It was like it kind of took me back through the memory of the pain in my back before surgery and then after the surgery, and then it disappeared. So I became curious, and I had some x-rays done on my back. And the radiologist said that she can't detect any arthritis in my back whatsoever anymore, and there's no pain. So that's been a huge blessing, you know. It's just amazing to go from the pain I was in through the years, and then after the surgery was a success, but I still had a lot of residual pain that he figured I'd have to just deal with in my life from now on, and it's gone. I have no pain in my back whatsoever.
Wow. And not only is it the pain that's gone, but from what I was hearing, it's actually changing on the radiographs, on the x-rays.
Yes. Before I had a lot of osteoarthritis, which a lot of us have, and then I had a spot above the surgery in the thoracic area that they were considering having to go in and fix eventually in the next couple of years. He said he can't find any of it. He said, there's no sign of any arthritis in my back or my shoulders. I had shoulder surgery too, in both shoulders. And he said, there's no arthritis anywhere. It's gone.
Wow. Wow. And what did he say? What did your surgeon say about that?
Well, he was pretty astounded. He I talked to him on the phone, and he said, it's pretty amazing. And he says, what have you been doing? I started telling him about the age pill. So beginning of April, I have an appointment to go over and talk to him about the age pill. He said he's really interested in finding out more about it. And he said he couldn't release my x-rays from my back because of the procedure he hasn't finished his article about the procedure that he created, so I can't use the x-rays yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, that's
Did he
interesting.
Did he
Well, he
pay for
created
him?
Huh?
Did he pay for him or did you?
Well, that's it. He said that the procedure was brand new. He created the whole procedure. It's never been done in the world, the way he fixed my spine.
I
And he
understand.
said until he gets the article out in the medical journal, then I can use those x-rays. Even my primary care person here in Pendleton doesn't have them yet. She said, well, I never did
Okay.
get x-rays. So, but they have verified that there is no more arthritis and I don't have any more pain in my back. I'm back to like 20 years ago. I can run and chase my grandkids and it's really great.
That's fabulous.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people do we know of that have chronic back pain? How many years did you have back pain?
Oh gosh, I was diagnosed with degenerative disc disease and osteoarthritis in 2004. And so it's been quite a while.
Yeah, because if you were diagnosed in 2004, that means it had been building up for at least 7 years. And so we can
Right.
say that it probably started back in the 1990s, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
you've been suffering from degenerative back disease for 25 to 30 years. And for the arthritis to go away in how long of a period of time again? Again, just kind of repeating things so people can get a good idea.
I started taking the age pill. Levita and I started taking it October 4th when we got it. And so, and then this month I started taking the trio of, the Fucoidan and the Eternity and the supplement. And I also have a really other thing that's really big to me. I used to work in medicine and at the laboratory in Pendleton. My hands, I had to back out of medicine at the time because in 91, I suffered a really severe allergy to latex and being gloved up all the time. And that continued. And I found out that the tetracarbamazepine in latex resides in your colon, but I could never get it flushed out or cleared up. I always had spots on my hands that you could see where it would break out over and over and over. And I noticed a few weeks ago, that's all gone. My hands are healed and I have never had another problem with it for this whole last month. So
Wow.
to me, it's flushing out toxins and all kinds of, it's really, I've got my daughter on it. She suffers from hidradenitis. I don't know if you know what that is, but I started her on the age pill and I've, just been little by little, everybody's going, wow, what are you doing? You're such a change. It's like, yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, it's really cool to not be in pain and be able to function like you did years ago.
And you're having some changes in your skin as well, right?
Oh yeah, my skin is wonderful. All my wrinkles have gone away just about. It's just amazing. I didn't have a bad complexion, but as you age, I just turned 67 in January. So everybody says it looks like I took 20, 25 years off my life, off my face. It was just,
Nice.
everybody's been amazed. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Margaret. I really appreciate that. And thanks for spending your Friday night with us.
Sure.
And people ask all the time, they say, well, Kurt, is it real? Is this real? And the answer to it is that, if you look at the research, again, we can't say it about our product because we're not a scientific research company. We haven't spent the gazillion dollars it takes to do scientific research, but we research the research, and that's the ingredients that we use. And then when Tom makes a product, when Sizzle makes a product, what they actually do is they use the therapeutic dosage of ingredients. They use what's recommended in the research. They don't just, like Tom says, we don't just wave the chicken over a pot of boiling water and say, oh, there we have chicken soup. We actually put the therapeutic dosage into each and every ingredient that we have, every product that we have. And so when I hear results like this, I just go, wow. And then I got to look at, what's going on, and I try and figure out what's going on. And so yesterday when I was trying to research, what's going on with Margaret, your body, what happens is that, glycated end products, what happens is that's the cellular garbage, the lipofuscin. That's cellular garbage. It's what's left over when your body burns sugar and fats as energy, and they normally accumulate. But what happens is because of our diets in North America and really around the world, we eat a lot of carbs. We eat a lot of bad fats that maybe aren't as good for us, and so it gets into the system, and what it does is it damages the system, and it makes it so that the body spends all of its energy actually trying to repair the glycation and lipofuscin, and so when we take a product like the Age Pill, what it does, it removes these glycated end products, it removes the lipofuscin, and now your body can take that energy that it's building, and it can actually go back and it can do some repair. It can do the repair that it needs to fix things, like the immune system, like we were talking about with Elizabeth, and it can go back and it can do the repair on the soft tissue, the joint cartilage, and things like that, like we're seeing with Margaret. So that's just a real quick explanation. The actual paper that I read is probably about 10 pages long, so I'm not going to go through that. We just don't have enough time for that tonight. But get a hold of me and I'll get you a copy of that research if you'd like it. But Margaret, thanks for sharing that with us. I'm going to go right now. We're going to go out to Kathy. And Kathy, she's had some remarkable results with her puppy, and so Kathy, are you with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me? I'm in my car. I apologize.
Oh, I hear you loud and clear. Thanks for
Good.
jumping on. Thanks for jumping on. And I don't know how many months ago was it? 2 months ago that you and I first spoke about your dog?
It was a few weeks before Christmas, maybe end of November, beginning of December. Yeah, somewhere around that time. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for all of your help for saving my pup's life. But yeah, he has encephalomeningitis, which is an inflammation of his brain and his spine. It was just something quick came on. And of course, they put him on all these medications for this was last May, and he had been on these medications up until end of November, December, and he started regressing. I honestly thought we were fixing to lose him. So I reached out to Dr. Kurt, and we detoxed, and I just stopped one of his medications, and we started detoxing him. And within a couple of days, I really thought he was going to go, and we were going to wait a week. I think it was Dr. Kurt to start the Age Pill to try to detox him first. And within first he hadn't eaten. Let me back up a step. He hadn't eaten in 4 or 5 days. He had lost so much weight, and within a day of starting the detox, he was eating out of my daughter's hand. And then within 2 or 3 days, he was eating out of the bowl again. But before that, he hadn't eaten 4 or 5 days. And then I'll go back forward. Then after a couple of days of the detoxing, he kind of started regressing back to the symptoms he had in the beginning, like his back legs were kind of dragging a little bit. So I reached out to you and said, can we go ahead and try the Age Pill? At that point, I just was desperate. And he was like, well, I really wanted to detox him for a week, but let's go ahead. If you really feel like you need to give him the Age Pill, give it to him. Within 2 hours of giving him that first pill, he was walking different. Within 3 days, he was running up and down the stairs.
Within 3 days?
Within 3 days, he was running up and down the steps. We live on the second floor of an apartment building. Yes, running up and down the steps. And actually, I think he might have been on the Age Pill for maybe 3 weeks, and I had a follow-up appointment with his neurologist, his vet neurologist. And I wasn't going to take him, but I wanted her to see him because he was different. He was the best I think I'd ever seen him, even before he got sick. He was the liveliest, most energetic dog. And when I took him for his follow-up appointment, She was not happy. And she was not happy. And
He wasn't happy
his-
because he was going back to the doctor, huh?
because I had taken him off the medicine. That she wasn't happy about that. But that was the first follow-up appointment he had ever had. He came back out to me and told me he was perfect.
He was perfect.
He was perfect. Like everything they did with him, he responded. He played with them. He chased the ball. He did everything. Where any other appointment he had ever been to, that he did not respond to a lot of the things that they did to examine him. So yeah, after that, she just told me to call her in 30 days and do a follow-up call, that she didn't need to see him back. And so I called her in the 30 days, and he's off of all of his medicines now, and all he takes is the ACE pill, the Spectrum-Max, and P-Poidin every day. Oh, and he does take the omegas, the super omegas as well. I give him one of those every day too. And he's awesome. I just appreciate you so much for helping him. You just don't even know.
Wow. You know, I'll tell you what, it's so fun to help our little best friends. You know, I give my dog, I was telling somebody today, I was telling my sister actually, I give my dog about $100 worth of supplements a month. And man, I just can't imagine if something went wrong there. He's my best buddy. We travel together and everything. So just like you and your little guy.
Right. Well, I mean, one of his medicines alone was costing me $225 a month.
And he doesn't have to take that anymore.
No, absolutely not. I'm not even spending that a month on him now using Sissel products.
Wow. And you know, besides his doctor saying, oh, he's perfect, he's back to normal. I mean, does his doctor say, what'd you give him?
I told her, I was like, she's Dr. Conley. I'm like, Dr. Conley, you can actually treat anytime we ever took him and Dexter in, she would always compare him to other dogs that had the same issues. And I'm like, Dr. Conley, why would you not want to try something natural versus all these harmful pharmaceuticals that, you know, that we're putting into these animals' bodies? And I told her, I said, it's here for you. If you ever want to reach out to me, I would love to share it with you. And she told me she appreciated it, and that was it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I'll tell you, Kathy, I'm up here with my mom. I'm actually at the hospital visiting her right now. Yesterday, a month ago when I was in Australia, she broke her hip, and she had to come up here, and they had to replace the head and the neck of the femur. And the doctor said, I can't believe that your mom put up with that pain for an entire month. And he said, she doesn't even really have any pain. And then he went in and did the surgery, and he met with me after the surgery, and he said it was amazing. There was just really no scar tissue in there at all, even though she'd been walking on it for a month. And so when he went and did the surgery, he said it should heal up really nice. And he said, well, you know, what has she been taking? And so I in between when he was doing the surgery, I ran home and I printed out the article on the RIPT product, and I got some information on the age pill and some different things, and I came in and I gave it to him, and he asked, well, how do I get this? How do I get some more, you know, if I want to give it to patients? So you know,
Right.
Gradually, I think the world will hear about it, and it's stories just like yours. It's stories like my mom's. It's stories like Elizabeth and Margaret, and it takes all of us that are on the call now, all of us that are listening to the recording, get this information out, not just to people, but to your doctors as well. And I notice it's 1/2 the hour now. Kathy, thanks for sharing, and please let me know and update me as things go, because I'd really like to share the story again down the road as your dog just continues to get better and better. And same thing, Elizabeth and Margaret, as you all get better. Let's share this again.